Shalom, shalom. All praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elect apostle elders at Great Millstone and well. Shalom to the elect Akiadim, spread the 70 of truth. In season, out of season, and not for vain glory. All right, brothers, I just want to bring a couple of quick scriptures about the prophets prophesying. Okay, so let's see what the prophets are prophesying about in the book of Jeremiah 28, chapter and the 8th verse. The prophets, no, what are the prophets? Prophets are sent by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, okay, to prophesy about things that's going to happen before they happen, okay, all right? So it says, and who are the prophets of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai? Okay, well, number one, they're Israelites, okay? They're Israelites, okay? And from the tribes, from the 12 tribes of Israel, okay? And number two, you have the prophets here on the earth right now, okay? Like the apostles of Great Millstone, all right? Starting with them, okay? You have the other Israelite camps, the other one Western Israelite camps as well, okay? Prophesying the destruction of America, prophesying things to come, prophesying things that's going to come before they happen, okay? That's what a prophet is, okay? And the Most High speaks through who? His prophets, okay? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai speaks through his prophets. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, okay, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay, all right. So that's what the prophets of old have prophesied against many countries and great kingdoms. Of what? Of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. And now the prophets are prophesying the same thing. Okay, all right. Of Great Millstone, the other one Western camps. Okay, all right. And guess what? The prophets. Guess what? The prophets are prophesying the destruction of America. Okay, all right. So it says, the prophets that have been before thee. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. And what's one of the great kingdoms on the earth today? America. America is one of the great kingdoms of the earth. Okay? All right? And that's the main focus. America being destroyed. Okay? So the prophets are prophesying against one of the great kingdoms. And one of the great kingdoms of the earth is America. Okay? Now you have Russia. Okay? All right? You have China. Okay? They're economically great. All right? You have India. They have a growing economy. You have Russia. Russia's strong militarily. But the focus is America. All right? Because America is the only kingdom, great kingdom, that's going to be completely, utterly destroyed. Okay? All right? And what is going to be destroyed with? Nuclear fire from the nuclear missiles and Yahweh Shai and the angels coming down to shoot lasers out of the chariots to bring more fire on America. Now, it doesn't say America in the Bible. Okay? But it gives it other names. Okay? It says Egypt. That's America. America is a spiritual Egypt. Why? Because America has the children of the sons and daughters of the nation of Israel in slavery here in America. All the 12 tribes. Because all the 12 tribes are slaves in Egypt, the ancient Egypt. Okay? Did not so-called Negroes, so-called West Indian, so-called Haitians come over here in slave ships? Yes, they did. They're the Southern Kingdom. Judah, the so-called Negro. Benjamin, the so-called West Indian. Levi, the so-called Haitian. Did not the so-called white man come over here and take the land and rape, rob, and murder and put the, the Northern Kingdom, the North American Indians and the Latino Indians in slavery here in America? Yes, they did. It's all throughout history. Okay? So America is the spiritual Egypt, and plus America deals with the gods and goddesses and philosophies and way of living of the ancient Egyptians. Why do they have the Washington Monument? That goes back to Egypt. That's an obelisk. Why do they have Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park? That comes straight from Egypt. Why do they have the pyramid on their dollar bill? Because it goes back into Egypt. Why do they worship on Sunday? They worship the sun, just like the Egyptians do. Okay? All right? So that's what it is. All right? So it says, the prophets, yeah, so America is likened unto Egypt. America is likened unto Babylon. Babylon in the Hebrew means, is Babel, which means confusion. America is in a great state of confusion, man. LGBT community, financially destroyed. I mean, look what's going on, man. Uh, the, 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 the Democrats against the Republicans. Okay? All right? Men over women. Okay? This place is in a confused state. Okay? All right? This place is nothing but confusion. And America deals with the ancient customs of the Babylonians as well. Okay? All right? Christmas. That goes back into the Babylons. The Babylonians. Okay? All right? Semiramis and Tammuz. They have Mary and the baby Jesus, which that goes back into Babylon, which is Semiramis and Tammuz, which goes back to the ancient Babylonian Empire. Okay? All right? America is also known as Sodom. And we know why it's known as Sodom, because of the LGBT community. Okay? So these are the names that America, these are the names for America in the Bible. Okay? All right? It's not going to be America. It's going to be Babylon. It's going to be Egypt. It's going to be Sodom. America is all these kingdoms in conglomeration with each other. America's all these kingdoms in one. Okay? You put them all, these kingdoms, Sodom, Babylon, Egypt, that's America. All right? So it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's exactly what's happening in this place, and that's exactly what's going to happen in this place. There's going to be a nuclear war. All right? There's going to be a war of nuclear missiles, a third world war. That third world war is going to take place in the Middle East, and it's going to culminate to the nations shooting nuclear missiles over here to destroy America. And this is what, aka Babylon, aka Egypt, aka Sodom. And this is what the prophets are prophesying. Okay? And that's what a prophet would prophesy. We just read it. Okay? Against many countries. All right? And against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So evil is coming to this place. Eve, meaning time, ill, meaning bad. Bad times is coming to America. And the bad times are already here, by the way. Look at the so-called pandemic. The coronavirus. All right? Look how all the businesses got shut down. Which that's prophesied in the Bible too. Okay? All right? Look at all the people that was online for food. Look at all the businesses and lives that were destroyed during this pandemic. Okay? Bad times are coming, man. And bad times are already here. Okay? So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. Okay? All right? I just wanted to bring that out about what the prophesied are prophesying. Okay? Of war, evil, and pestilences. And pestilences. And pestilence. Diseases. Okay? All right? The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass. Now, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass. Now, we're not living in the time of peace. We're living in the time of what? Wars and rumors of wars. You see what's happening all over the world, man. All right? These nations are gearing up for war, man. They're making more nuclear missiles, as if they don't have enough nuclear missiles. Okay? So they're making more nuclear missiles, faster, better, more powerful. What? For destruction. Okay? For the destruction of Babylon, the destruction of Egypt, the destruction of Sodom, which is America. Okay? Which is spiritually America. So America is the spiritual Sodom, the spiritual Egypt, the spiritual Babylon. All right? But peace is not here. It's war. All right? Syria, war. Over there in Israel, Palestine, war. Okay? All right? And other countries in Europe, war. Okay? All right? What's happening over here in America? War. Class wars, man. Okay? All right? They shoot down a so-called black man, what happens? They go out and riot, burn down stores, turn over cars. You know what just happened. All right? So a nuclear war is coming to America. And the Third World War is coming. Okay? But all the nations going to get together and go to war with each other. All right? And America will be destroyed. All right? By thermonuclear fire. All right, brother. So I hope you've been edified. And with that, this is what the prophesies of prophet. Oh, matter of fact, let me finish reading this. The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh hath truly sent him. Okay? So, ain't no time for the peace. America's at war, man. I mean, they call it the Cold War, but America is at war, man. Matter of fact, hell, America just went in a part of the South China Sea, all right? And what did China do? They sent one of their warships and say they chased that American warship away, man. So it's Cold Wars. Actual wars going over all over the whole world, man. Okay? But the greatest war is going to be the Third World War. Okay? All right? And that nuclear war. And Yahweh Shai is coming to make war against the so-called white man, Esau, America, the wicked elite. Okay? With that, shalom.